Does any other single person out there feel so much more pressure to be hot and successful because they're single? Like, I went to a lot of weddings this year and I felt myself noticing that because I'm single, I feel like I need to have everything on lock. Like my outfits, which by the way, my wedding outfits this year, my job, like everything needs to be just so, because I fear that otherwise people will pity with me. Now, this is wrong, right? This is like exactly everything I speak out against on my platform. And I'm not saying there's anything to be done aside from adjusting my attitude, but I'm just wondering if anybody else out there feels like, oh, I need to have my shit so good so that when people see me, they're like, she's single, but damn, look at her. She looks amazing. She's doing all this stuff. She's successful, which is fucked up. Yet another thing we have to deal with.
It's probably because of the patriarchy, if I had to take a guess. But in the end, you gotta make up for the fact that you're a loser and that you failed so miserably at dating. But gentlemen, welcome back. What is going on? Hope you're all doing fine. Locking in my tomb today to remind you why dating sucks. As we have these 30-year-old guys, above 30, I would say. And honestly, guys, I'm not gonna lie to you, it's just straight up embarrassing. It's embarrassing for women, granted how attractive they usually are, granted how many options they have to be single at 30. It either shows that they have unreal expectations or they're just massive red flags on legs. It's just what it boils down to. And it's embarrassing for them to be going on the marriages and weddings of other women that succeed to date because they are good options and they are single. It's embarrassing. Everybody is winning in a game that you're losing. Straight up embarrassing, guys. She has to make up for it with nice dresses and this and that. Your mother is still gonna be let down by you. But before we move on, guys, to the next women that we have compiled, all in their 30s, all single, I gotta take a look at this thing right here, guys. Okay, I'm gonna move the screen a little bit, and if you're not watching, just listening, we have a croissant with meat, right? Now, not related to the channel, but no, just no. Meat doesn't go on croissants. Croissants are meant to be sweet. Oh, he done, but you can make a salty one. Why don't you put meat on a donut? For example, oh, but donuts are meant to be sweet. Yeah, but you can make a salty one. Why don't you put some ham on a donut? I think that will be quite delicious. Why don't you put bacon in a cheesecake? I think that will be also a very good combination. Why don't you put one in, I don't know, a tiramisu, for example, with meat? I think is also a quite tasty option, you know? It's like, oh, but it's pastry, so it somehow resembles bread. And meat does go along with bread. Yeah, but it's not bread though. Alright, just because it's pastry, and I know that there are some pastries that go well with meat, croissants are not one of them. Alright, just because it resembles what is a salty bread doesn't mean that we have to hammer in a piece of ham there. Alright, I make my stand against croissants with meat. I know a lot of people will be quite upset. But look, this is not the way God intended the world to operate, alright? So now that I have this off my chest, we can continue with the next woman, guys.
Men are gonna freaking hate me because I keep getting DMs from girls being like, you've inspired me. I'm breaking up with my man today. I mean, like, go girl. If he's treating you poorly, like, be on your way, as you should. And I'm glad that I could help you realize that you deserve better. But like, the amount of people that are like, I'm not gonna lie, like I've been in a 4-year relationship and like you left and you're done, so I'm gonna be done. Man, this is not my fault. This is your fault. You should have treated her better.
I love how that is always the advice, guys. And it's literally always the advice. Even if a woman cheats and sleeps with another man, the advice still is, well, the man should have treated her better. It's the get out of jail free card that all these women use, which is why I hate them. She was right about one thing. I do hate her. Because women like these that are single and miserable and pathetic at keeping relationships are keeping other women single as well. As I wanted to play the video so you have something to look at, but hell no, I don't want to watch this again. I'll put some gameplay. It's straight up embarrassing what these women are doing. They are enemies of society. They are enemies of humanity, if you ask me. And because they can't keep a relationship, they want other women to fail as well. Iran, what do you have against her? She just mentions that if men are bad, you should leave. No, I agree with that. The problem comes when a man being bad and treating a woman poorly means he doesn't allow her to get away with everything she wants. He doesn't allow himself to be manipulated all the time. He has any sort of standards for himself, you know, any sort of principles that he abides by, instead of being a weak man on a leash for these women. Yeah, it's like they're professional manipulators, these women are. And each time a man doesn't bend to their desires, they call him bad. And so they leave. It's just disgusting. As I switch on to the wrong scene. But now, guys, let's move on to our next woman.
Being a single woman is highly underrated. Let me tell you why. I love waking up and not really having anybody to answer to except for my job. I love on the weekends when it's...
Wait. I love the independence of nobody telling me what to do, except my boss, that is, who controls all my life. But outside of him, I love it, man. It's like a slave telling you, man, all this liberty. Like, yeah, there's this guy that controls how many hours I sleep and the amount of money I have to provide for my family, and tells me what to do. And if I disobey, he's going to punch me in the face. But outside of that, it's just the liberty, man, is incredible. These women, guys, the single women, they are just slaves to the government. They are married to the government, essentially. And the government tells them what to do. Women who are married have way more liberty and are way more independent from the government than these single women. So quite funny there that she mentions that.
Up and not really having anybody to answer to except for my job. I love on the weekends when it's time to make plans, no one's making me go to something that I don't want to do. I love waking up slow on the weekends, having my coffee, and maybe watching Love Island. You know, whatever hot girl shit I want to do. I love that my day is structured around my wants and needs alone. Also, if I want to buy something for my apartment, I don't have to compromise on design or anything. I can put whatever.
As if women compromise about design. Guys, any of you that are married, even the ones that are single, have you ever been in a family that the woman has to compromise with the men when it comes to the way the house is structured? I've never seen that. Like, come on, let's not pretend that men and women that are married go out and they both make valid opinions about what they should put in their house. No, it's women who make those choices. You cannot change their mind, so don't lie to me.
Or anything. I can put whatever I want in here. I love wasting my own time. And if I want, I can take time to just stare out of a window and ponder life.
Now that she mentions that she can put whatever she wants in her house, apparently she has put... Let me just move this a little. She has put like a spider. What the hell is that, guys? What the hell is this thing over here? Like a spider? Some crustacean? But what's that? Some, I don't know, primitive life form? A very odd design. Now we can clearly see that you're not getting advice from anyone when it comes to decorating your house.
Life. I also feel like my capacity for joy is just a little bit higher than a lot of
Is that a horseshoe crab? Like, what the hell is that, guys?
people that I know who are in relationships, because I'm just not really stressed out about much. And that's one of the reasons why they don't want women to stay single, because they want our labor going somewhere and not put back into ourselves.
Yeah, because we evil men, we want women to put their labor in their families, in their kids, raising the next generation, instead of putting their labor into massive corporations and the government and their boss. Yeah, we evil men, you know, we evil creatures of doom. That's what we want. Very patriarchal, guys.
Because that's not serving what they want. So if you're ever afraid to make that leap, to leave that relationship, this video is a sign to take that step. It's much happier on the other side.
Yeah, sure. Very nice words. We'll write them on your tomb. But have you noticed, guys, the pattern? As I'm gonna put this down a little bit, so it's a horseshoe crab which she has on the wall, very odd. But anyway, something that you'll notice with all these women that are single is that they only think about themselves. When they tell you how good it is to be single, they never mention that they feel happy for anyone else other than themselves. They never talk about their family, never talk about their friends, never talk about some person that they are, I know, sharing their love with. No, it's always me, me, me. It's the first time I honestly meet someone more selfish than Palpatine, but we have her here on screen, guys. Is just kissing their own ass all day long. Me, 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 all my money for myself, all my time for myself, lazy mornings for myself, and this and that, and I get to choose everything, and I get to do everything. You're so selfish. You literally resemble a cartoonish version of a villain. It's just disgusting. These people, guys, to be so self-absorbed, like the whole society throughout the entire world, it has come to the conclusion that being selfish is something bad. But these women go on TikTok and want to make other women be equally as selfish as them. So notice how this one also recommends for all women to just leave men. Just leave them. Think only about yourself. And then in their pursuit of liberty, they become slaves. They become slaves to the government, slaves to their bosses, and slaves to massive corporations, which are probably the ones that in the end finance this whole thing about feminism and rights and all that. And oh no, I said feminism. Well, I guess this video will be demonetized as well because you don't get to criticize it. But anyway, womenism. Guys, it's probably big corporations that finance this whole movement because they wanted more women to pay taxes and more women to work and salaries to be, of less amount because there is less, demand for jobs and less supply for jobs, excuse me. And in the end, these women, guys, they all their money, they're not spending it on kids, they're not spending it on a family holiday or something that, you invest in others' happiness. That's not something that you can really monetize as a big corporation. So rather, you want these women to be single so they can keep buying boxed wine and whatever not. Such a sad life, honestly, guys. I'm just sad for these people. Like, yes, I hate their behavior, but I'm honestly sad about just how pitiful of a life that is. But now, let's cover our last women, guys, case and point, and then we'll move on to our article story.
I really don't give a fuck about anything else besides the fact that I can go out and be alone and not be bothered by a yapping bitch in my ear while I'm trying to have a taco or 5 tacos. I had 5 separate tacos tonight. What? Had the time of my life. I sat in silence and people watched at the bar. I mean, what? You can't fuck with that vibe. You can't. It's impossible. It's just elite.
So you have on one hand married women who have children and families, and they'll tell you, if you ask them what's the peak of your life, they'll probably tell you, oh, the first time my son learned to ride the bike, or my elder son learned to play the violin, or maybe finished university or accomplished something, won an achievement or something. You have these women, and then on the other hand, you have the single women that their peak in life is eating 5 tacos that cost $10. That's the peak, guys. That's as good as it gets, Yeah, jeez.
Oh my God. Friends, family, spouses. Ugh. God, that makes my chest hurt. Thinking about that. I love the fact that I can just sit there and not have to listen to nobody fucking or me have to be like
Guys, I love how some women, we have seen some women on the channel say how annoying it is to go back home and have to talk to a man and he's yapping all the time. Madam, this is known all around the world, in China, in the USA, in the North Pole, all right? Women are the ones who can't shut their mouths for 5 minutes, all right? But they are the ones that keep yapping all the time. What is this? You're trying to make the point that men are the talkative ones that cannot shut up for 5 minutes? It's you. You are the one who's yapping, all right? At least be honest about it. You can whine, but at least whine about something that we can relate. Trying to make the point that men are so talkative you cannot shut their mouth is absurd. It's asinine. My lord. And for those of you not watching, the caption says, get up and be alone. Because again, every woman has to, you know, spread this destructive advice.
I just don't even, it's fucking mute. Oh, it's a gorgeous life, man. I'm telling you guys, you gotta start doing it. Enough with the bullshit. Stop being so fucking scared of your own shadow. And get the fuck up out of your house and go have a taco or 5 or whatever the hell you want to have. And the best part about it is I didn't even drink. I was sober sitting at that fucking bar. Guess what? Nobody cared. Nobody gives a shit that I'm sitting there. Get up out that twin bed, bitch.
Very pleasant woman, guys. Cannot wait for her to meet my parents. Insulting all the time. You know, my videos may be demonetized as well because these women curse like sailors. Just so unattractive. Such a bad trait, honestly. You wouldn't want your daughter to be talking like this. You wouldn't want your friends, mother. You wouldn't want anybody talking like this. It's so straight up disgusting. But that's something that often comes with single women. They often are really bitter, really mad at the world. They want to blame everyone for their own failures in life, you know. So well, we'll leave this woman, guys, to be very, very happy about her life of hedonism. And I tell you what, I can assure you this. They always end up feeling miserable, alright? These women don't make it to 90 feeling happy. No, they cannot fill that void, no matter how many tacos they stuff in it, alright? No matter how many plastic toys they stuff in different places, they cannot fill that void that comes with being such a terrible person all throughout. Now, gentlemen, a very good article story in line with the video. A man says, F dating. Already at 23, I've had enough. I don't have enough patience for this. People randomly ghosting you, the amount of effort in setting up the date. So this is how you know it's a man, because women don't move their little finger. The constantly staring at the phone, staring, excuse me, at the phone while being on a date. Have a dog for affection, and if I get aroused, I'll save up a few hundred for a street lady. You can't convince me that this isn't a waste of time. I can, guys, I can really. If you pay me $1 million to try to convince a man that dating is good, I wouldn't be able to do it. I'd rather be clueless about dating than have severe trauma from relationships. I'll just focus on my career and hobbies. Well, you've watched the TikToks with me, gentlemen. Then people ask why men are stepping out of dating, why men are walking away from serious relationships, and they just want to use women. And some guys are even tired of hooking up, you know, because you read the chat where it's easy and accessible. If you're not chat, you have to go through all this hustle to get a women into bed. It's not even worth it. Like, most guys have taken out this route. I'm gonna make money, and with this money, I'm gonna buy AS3X if I feel, you know, aroused. I'm trying to play around words here, and I'm just the things that women provide. I'm gonna buy them because I really don't need a woman. Roles that traditionally were assigned to women, like cleaning around the house or cooking, traditionally I say, now you can just hire someone to do them, right? It's just, if you're a guy and you're walking, you can afford like 95% of what women do, all right? And there are some aspects that women provide, a real woman, a loving woman, that no amount of money is going to buy you. But in the end, first off, it's not something that every guy can afford, unconditional true love from a woman. Second off, it's sometimes, guys, it's not even worth it to be looking for that kind of love, given the headaches that you have to go through. This guy is 23 years old. He's already throwing the towel. It's over for him. I don't even blame him, guys. You know, it's just sad to see men so young give up. Yeah, let's read some of the comments. Meanwhile, 34-year-old single guy sipping tea alone reading this thread. Why I haven't dated in almost 15 years. Even over 40 people play games. Another one says, bro, I understand, man. I did everything right to make the dates the best I can. Even they said it was great and asked me for another date. But them being on their phone, the ghosting, the bringing friends to the date just in case, the bring me to an expensive restaurant, and the playing hard to get. Then I am an independent woman and don't need no man. Bro, I was like, I'm done. The peace of coming to terms with it was calming, really. Dating right now is just, I don't know, man. This is such a good comment, guys. Really summarizes all the things that men go through and why they are so tired. They are tired of this crap. And they're no longer willing to put up with it. Guys, the whole thing with the red pill manosphere, it's not like a scheme that some people in a room have devised to, you know, to make a stand against women or something. No, no, no. This is just men having access to the internet and coming in mass to share a common experience, which is women nowadays suck. They suck. They are terrible. Most of them anyway. Nobody has agreed upon this. There's no memo being sent out. No, this is the experience that you get from multiple men, all different ages, all throughout the world. All right? It's just women suck, guys. They suck. And the whole thing with dating is terrible. Nobody wants to do it. There are still people who are trying and they're like blue-pilled and they think that, oh, there's a passenger for every train. I'm going to find my wife. Give them a couple of years, guys. If they don't purposefully blind themselves, they're going to see the truth for what it is. Women suck. The manosphere has become the cultural narrative, at least for men. It has become culture. You can see it in the memes. Everybody hates dating. But men rightfully so. Women hate it because they don't get to get chat. Women hate it because they're not taking me to nice restaurants. Oh, there was this one guy who didn't want to pay for my food. He wanted to go 50-50. That's what women whine about, all right? Men, on the other hand, whine about the fact that all women are happies on dating apps and most of the time in real life as well. Let's read some more, guys. I'm finding it enjoyable. 23 is way too young to give up anymore. Plenty of time, plenty of girls. This is someone older, guys. This is someone older, and he comes from a place of wanting to give good advice. He comes from a place of caring, but you can clearly see this advice is not it. Plenty of time, plenty of girls. My dude, 30 years ago it was different. Nowadays, plenty of girls? No, hell no. Have to become the best version of yourself to be noticed in today's dating climate. Average Joe won't cut it. All the best. You can't compete against the internet, right? It's not about being an average Joe anymore. It's about you cannot compete with the amount of options these women have. Dating has never been easy. It's a needle in a haystack. But paying for S3X won't help you in the long run. It certainly won't help. I'm not advising it, guys. I think that a lot of men feel bad after they hire someone to do that service, but well, I will advise is just don't deal with modern women. You'll thank me later. 23 is such a great age. Go out, get involved in community, sports, music, art, meetups, whatever. If socializing is hard, use this as practice to talk to women. You are so young. Anything worth having takes time and effort. Another one, you're so young. So a lot of guys feel sad, and it is sad, guys. We're gonna end on this comment. It's just straight up sad what dating has become. And regarding the comment from Capster that said, you know, get involved in community, sports, etc. That may seem like an over positive, a bit of naive argument, but actually it's what I also will advise. If you don't want to deal with women, guys, just don't talk to them, don't invest in them, don't care at all about them. But if you still want to find a wife, to find a girlfriend, to talk to women, if you want that, to have relationships, I will advise you, get off the dating apps, just delete them, and go out and find something. Find a community. There are, for example, communities with like table games, I think they're called, where you go and play cards or whatever. A lot of women go there, by the way. I didn't know that. I thought that like nerds go there, but from what I've been told, a lot of women go there. Just guys, go to different sport events, go to table games, go to online games, go to all these places. You're gonna meet more women, and in real life, it's way easier to assess whether they are red flags or not. Most of the times, just solely based on their looks, alright? And guys, recently a colleague at work got married to a woman that he met at one of those events. You know, so these dating apps, guys, don't pay for them. They're not worth it. Don't waste your time. The amount of time you waste swiping dumb profiles of women saying the same things all the time, like, try to impress me, make me laugh, take me to a fancy restaurant, all this crap. Leave that crap behind and go out. Now, I'm not saying you're gonna make it alright. Don't tell me, oh, Hiran, you're purple pill. Guys, I'm not purple pill. What the hell? I'm just saying, look, it's not impossible, right? Some guys are still making it. It's a numbers game. It's what it boils down to. But hey, you can be in the lucky numbers. Maybe you win the jackpot. You don't know if you never go out. Maybe you'll meet a woman that is worth it. But if you're not really interested in that, guys, leave dating altogether. I wouldn't even blame you. Like, F this dating game. And I'll tell you what, after so many men are leaving, you see women are starting to panic. A lot of women are ending 30 and single, and it's not by choice. Men leave by choice because they hate the game. Women leave because they have no options, because all the men who respect themselves wouldn't consider dating them. So, gentlemen, thank you for watching. Thank you for being here, guys. I gotta thank you all. My views have dropped so much that at this point, most of the people watching watch every single upload. Thank you for that, guys. You're really keeping the channel alive. It will die if you're not you, to be honest. So I'll keep fighting the algorithm. I'll try to play around, see all the successful channels. I'll try to bring this channel back to its former glory and even beyond. But in the meantime, all you can do helps a lot, guys. Commenting, liking, sharing. Thank you a lot for all your time. And if you want to support the channel and also find a more explicit content, you can subscribe to Patreon. Now, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time.